Hello and welcome back. Does anyone remember what we were doing last week in this game? Here, let me get the music going again. Hope the sound's good. So, last week... Oh. We were searching for stones. We found the... water stone. Got the stone in the water. Now we're getting the stone in the sky. Yeah, we visited Bikini Bottom. Let's see, I'll just go ahead and continue here. Oh no, I can't remember which one it is. Just kidding. So yeah, we got, we stopped the enchanter, then we freed this horse, and he had us go get, we went to the library a lot. I forgot I had to read a bunch of times. We went and got this thing's bridle, so that's the next thing we have to do here. Let's give this thing its bridle back.
You slip the bridle over the horse's head. It whinnies its approval.
Come, climb upon my back.
What do you mean it's not a horse? Oh, I have to actually click on the guy. I had to remember how to play this.
Hold on. This will be a little accelerating.
Everybody hates this question, but I'm going to leave it in here forever.
The disciple of the cloud gracefully soars high into the sky. You grip the reins tightly and hold on for dear life as he swoops and dips between the clouds. After a time, he draws near to a thick patch of luminous mist. As you pass through it, the horse sets itself down, seemingly on top of a cloud.
It is all right. You can dismount now.
Oh, nice.
Believing that you have finally lost all sense of reason, you dismount and prepare for a very long drop.
Geronimo!
And find yourself standing on a cloud. Hello, you call out. There is no response.
What is this spirit you speak of?
The essence of what you seek. It passes through us as we grow, all through our lives, though few are ever aware of it. You will know soon enough.
Why do you choose to serve this cloud spirit?
It is my destiny, and I must fulfill it, just as you must fulfill yours.
I was not aware that I had one.
All of us have a destiny. Some are predestined, others are determined by choice. I believe yours to be of the latter.
How is it possible that I can stand upon thin air?
Such are not the questions you should be asking.
Oh my god, it's alive.
You have come for the Air Gem, or the Growth Gem, as it was once named by the ancients. It has not
I forgot
been
to flip my face
termed
around.
thus without reason, for one who would have the gem as his own must prove himself grown and thus worthy of it.
Meaning, no disrespect.
Whoa!
Thank you. You must agree, Cloud Spirit, that I am a man
Now I'm on
fully
this side.
grown, thus fulfilling your prerequisite.
A howling wind deafens you momentarily.
Ah,
You feel
Graham.
nothing on your skin. The cloud spirit speaks again, a little more forcefully.
It is not enough that you have grown in body. That much is evident. It must be proven that you have also
Graham.
grown in both mind and soul. So on these shall you be tested.
Tested?
Those who bear the burden of king are expected to possess certain qualities. Your actions will be judged against the weight of these. It shall be seen whether you are deserving of your title. It shall be seen whether you are worthy of the growth gem.
After a moment of silence, the cloud spirit intones,
Behold your first test.
I like how Graham responded with, but I am a grown man.
the mist
And
around
then
you
it was just
clears, and
silent
you
for like a
find
minute.
yourself in a familiar place. This is Daventry, and furthermore, you are a child again. A slight dizziness overwhelms you for an instant. How strange, you no longer recall anything past this moment in time. It is as if this is happening again for the first time. Even stranger, you are still vaguely aware that you are undergoing a test of some kind.
Which one do you think is
Though for what
Graham?
purpose, you cannot fathom.
The feet down here?
But look, it is Malvolio, your best friend.
Or this
The
one
two
up
of
here?
you are deeply engrossed in a game of bat and ball.
Oh no!
Ouch!
Uh-oh! That sounds like the king now! What do we do?
You there.
Yes?
Yes? Is that how you address your
Oh
liege?
man, Graham is so dead.
No, your majesty, King Edward, sir. I mean, sire.
Which of you two boys threw that ball? The one that just happened to land on my head?
He is so dead.
I have asked you both a question. Silence is considered a response equal to impertinence.
Sell out your friend.
You summon all your courage and speak up.
Your majesty, if you please. It was I who hit the ball over the castle wall. It was my fault completely. Please do not punish my friend.
The king eyes you carefully. You wonder if you are now in serious trouble.
I would not punish one for something so trivial. However, I will see you play your game elsewhere, away from here.
Yes, sire.
One more thing,
Now
my
we have to show that we've grown.
You have demonstrated good character today by taking the blame for your friend. The finest knights in this realm demonstrate their compassion by protecting others, even if that should mean putting themselves at risk. I find that to be a rare quality in the many I meet. When you have grown up, I hope to see you again, perhaps in my service.
Thank you, your majesty.
Behold your second test.
You feel yourself growing older, more so than before the tests began. Again, dizziness overcomes you. Your memory of the previous test fades, and in its place, your mind is filled with the knowledge of everything that has since come to pass. This includes, unfortunately, the dreadful misfortunes which have plagued Daventry since the coming of the terrible three-headed dragon. To make things worse, your 17-year-old daughter has been demanded as its latest sacrifice. In return, it will not harm the rest of the population until the next demand. You would go forth to destroy the dragon yourself, but you no longer have the heart for such quests. Never have you felt so forlorn, so frail. You fear that given the choice, you would do anything to rectify the situation.
A charming view. No wonder you come here so often.
You. I will see you hanged for this intrusion. Guards! Guards!
Calling them will do you no good. For even if they come, they will find their king speaking to only the air he breathes.
A pox on thee! Who are you?
My name, my true name, has been heard by none for nigh on a millennium. It is enough that you know me as the Father.
Then say what you have come to say and be gone.
You never were one for small talk.
You cursed my family. As a result, that dragon is now loose upon the land, and one of my children was kidnapped.
Now that is not quite the truth.
Do you deny your involvement?
Not at all. It is just that you have omitted so much.
Speak, and be gone.
Very well. I want your crown.
You cannot believe what you have just heard. This vile creature has caused untold misery throughout your land for nearly 18 years and has now infiltrated your castle just to ask that you hand over your authority to him? Of all the outrageous...
Is that what this is all about? You want to rule Daventry?
What would I want with a puny little kingdom when in a few short years I will have more power than Legitimor himself? No, I want only the
Anyone
thing
remember
you
who
wear atop
Legitimor is?
your head. Your crown. It is an essential part of my plan. Without it, my efforts to prepare for the ascension will have been in vain. I have waited far too long to be deterred from it now.
It's during one of the library
If you
sections.
needed it that badly, you could have just taken it. You had plenty of opportunities.
He
Are you completely
founded.
ignorant of the legends of your predecessors?
Yeah, founded Daventry.
None can possess the crown of the first king unless it's given.
If you think for one moment that I would...
Before you speak further, consider this. In exchange for what I ask, I shall lift my curse and all that it entails from you and your blighted land. You shall have both it and your family restored in full. Minus your title, naturally.
Your mind reels at these words. For almost 2 decades, a countless number of innocent people have suffered under the afflictions Daventry has had to endure. So many more people would continue to suffer indefinitely,
Don't do it.
notwithstanding the pain you feel over
do you
your
mean?
own family's misfortune. With a simple statement, you could put an end to it all.
To give you my crown would signify a change of leadership, so says the law of this land. It also says that the crown is to be worn only by those with the highest regard and intent for Daventry. So, to give it to such a vile being as you would betray the honor and memory of all the past kings who have worn it. No, I will not do it.
Not even for the sake of your family?
There are some principles for which even one's family must be sacrificed.
The man appraises you as a scientist would a unique specimen.
What an intriguing set of morals you have, King Graham. I almost look forward to the time when you will put aside your obligations here and seek me out. I have foreseen that we shall meet again.
Since I won't play King's Quest 3, I should note that that's actually partially a scene in King's Quest 3.
Once again, you feel yourself age. You are many years older now, though still, thankfully, King of Daventry.
Do meet him again
As
in King's
before,
Quest 3.
The knowledge of the previous test ebbs from your mind. This time, however, it is filled with a greater knowledge of all
Feel
that
free
has
to take
come
a guess at
pass
when
thus
this
far.
occurs.
Many years have passed. Your children, once heirs to your throne, have forged their own paths in other kingdoms. Fortunately, chance has seen fit to fill the vacuum. Following the restoration of the Mask of Eternity, Daventry now has a new champion.
How do you feel?
I am deeply honored, sire.
All right. Now, how do you really feel?
Scared out of my wits, sire.
You smile and feel the lines in your face stretch. You hope you'll get used to it when the true time comes.
You know what they've been saying. About my decision, that is.
The people question my ability to perform the duties when I have another higher obligation. I believe that I can attend to both with the utmost equity.
You do not deny that this obligation may arise at any moment, perhaps taking you away from this country at a time of great need?
Of course not, sire, but I shall deal with that troll, as they say, when I cross that bridge.
And there is the matter of you not being of royal birth. That does not sit comfortably with some of the nobles.
The qualities of truth, light, and order can shine from even the most impoverished of souls. Nobility is defined through one's actions, not one's lineage, your majesty.
You cannot help but
Wasn't
smirk.
Graham not a
For
noble
man
birth?
who
Correct.
once lived as a peasant, he speaks extremely well.
But he was also not a peasant. However, I believe this is all in reference to Mask of Eternity. The Madness of King Graham.
Kneel. Your sword. By virtue of your bravery, loyalty, and good conscience, I have chosen you to be my first knight. Thus you are my successor and heir to this throne. Arise, Sir Connor of Daventry.
But we're not in
an
France.
instant, you find yourself
Wait, is that where he was
standing before
knighted?
the cloud spirit once more.
I don't
You
remember
also
where he got
notice
knighted.
That it is starting to
I know it's
get
in trivia.
dark.
You have demonstrated your sound understanding of compassion, honor, and loyalty. These attributes transcend the mind and speak of the soul within you. Growth continues unabated throughout the lives of all living things. You have grown much, learnt a great deal, and will continue to grow in all ways. You are judged worthy of the Heir and Growth Gem.
You take the growth gem. As you feel the knowledge of the last test fade from your mind, the cloud beneath your feet begins to evaporate.
no.
You'd better get out of here quickly, Graham.
Watch out, Graham.
Finally, your flight comes to an end. You hope that it will be quite a while before you take to the air again.
Well, now we're up to my favorite part
Where
of this
would you
game.
like me to land?
On the ground would be fine.
Take this sugar cube. It will protect against the poisonous growth of this land. Fare thee well.
You notice you have lost a few things during your descent. Mostly all that paper you were carrying. You are not concerned, though, as long as you don't get into trouble for littering. As dusk sets in and the pallid moon rises above the darkened horizon, you recall the Door of Destiny's words regarding the third gem, through swampy mire, in lone dark castle. Then you remember the great Neptune's disquiet reluctance to speak of Kalima's lord. You sense a growing unease that this final gem may not be the easiest to acquire.
It's time to get the death gem. The death gem.
A beautiful stained glass window depicts a radiant full moon. It is certainly one of the more unique images you have seen on a church. The church door is made of very thick wood held together by iron bars. You get no response. Finding the door unlocked and unbarred, you enter the church. You notice a Bible on the end of a pew. You look over the Bible, which appears to be many decades old. You open it and find that an otherwise blank page at the front has
No
been
way,
written
they would
on.
never do that,
It is
Claude.
dated over 20 years ago.
To all those who have heard the word, we are the chosen few, blessed by the spirits of the wild, destined for greatness, concealed by the cloth. There is but one challenge we must overcome before our future can be set in stone. The simple people of Kalima cling still to the memory of their former ruler. Even now, years after his fate's dark turn, they retain their hope that he will not forsake them. As long as this is so, our goal cannot be attained. So, my brothers, it is our duty to see the land cleansed of its blight. Do not fear our enemy, our faith. Purpose and power will guide us to the future we were promised. A path has been found to him, O brothers. Let him hear the warning howl. The cloth will be lifted for all time, and our songs will echo the end of him, his influence, and his family. Our time is at hand. Luaf.
You return the Bible to where you found it. You also notice that a page from the Bible has fallen onto the floor. You pick up the fallen page and read it. The words appear to have been written recently. Seconds swift were wisely spent, searching everywhere we went. You notice a Bible on the end of a pew. Your status as king is marred only by the still lingering single tag. The monk is in deep prayer and does not respond to your words. Feeling humbled, you kneel down to pray. You rise again after a few moments. The monk stirs, stands, and turns to face you.
Father, I go now to a place of darkness. While I am stout of heart, the path laid down before me is unclear. I seek only the knowledge that my passage be illuminated by heavenly favor, and a prayer that I may make it through.
The monk gives you a reassuring smile and pats you on the shoulder. He then lifts a silver cross from around his neck and places it in your hands.
Thank you.
You are welcome, my child.
You can talk?
Of course.
I thought monks were forbidden from speaking.
Not all churches follow the same rules, and this church is quite unique.
Really? How so?
The monk just smiles placidly at you.
About this crucifix.
I believe you will find the cross to be of immense value. It has come to us at a huge price.
It was expensive?
I mean that it has cost us more than any value to be in possession of it.
You can have it for free, though.
If I may ask, why is it that you only open the church at dusk?
We find the late hours more favorable.
Surely then you would not have many in your congregation.
Yes, that is true.
What do you know of the Count?
Only that he is a heathen, a blasphemer. You serve God well by going there, my child. Bless you.
The monk smiles at you, turns back to the altar, kneels, and resumes his prayers. Without warning, a pair of wolves dart out of the dark forest and dash towards you.
Oh no!
For a minute there, you thought those wolves were going to attack. Curious as to why they didn't, you decide to follow them. You see the monk standing alone outside the church. Then you notice the two wolves approaching him. You are about to yell a warning to the monk, but the words die in your throat as the man steps forward, and pats the wolves' heads.
No, my brothers, we must not hurt him. Not yet. He will go to the heathen's abode. He will do what needs to be done. What if he does not? Then, my brothers, we will complete the task before us, the one we began many years ago.
Uh-oh.
You quickly move away from the church, your heart racing faster with every step. You have a good idea now what will happen once the moon comes out in full, and you do not want to be anywhere near here when it does. One thing's for sure, you're not getting married in that church.
Why wouldn't you get married in that church? Sure, they're friendly people.
The door of the little cottage is kept closed. You can see light in the window. Somebody might be home. You consider calling out to the house's occupant through the door, but then realize that doing so would be uncharacteristically rude.
Oh, sir, have you seen my little granddaughter? She ventured to the town to buy food for me, but has not yet returned. I fear she may be in peril. The forest is not safe at night.
Like, he just walks out. He walks in, she's like, hello, and then he just turns around and leaves. Oops.
This large fallen log is all that remains of a once grand tree.
They just point out you hear a girl crying.
As you approach, you recognize the child. It is Possum, the little girl you helped earlier today.
Are you all right? What happened?
I went into town to buy some chicken soup for my grandma. I always try to reach home before dark, but this eve I lost my way and was attacked.
Attacked? A wolf attacked you?
No, not by a wolf, a dwarf.
For a moment, you're not sure that you heard correctly.
A dwarf, did you say?
Uh-huh. He jumped out at me, took my food, and then ran away.
Listen, I'm going to try to find this dwarf that you say stole your food. You get back to your grandma, understand?
Possum nods, says a soft thank you, and heads back home.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
You rap on the treehouse door and wait a moment, but get no response. You watch as a little man runs out of the door, which has been built into a tree. You surmise that you have found the culprit's home. The vague aroma of chicken soup confirms it. That fiend. Finding the door ajar, you cautiously open it and step inside the tree. Since you are underground, in the earth, everything feels understandably cool and gritty. You grab the handle of the bubbling pot of chicken soup. You take it with you. Upon opening the trunk, you find a number of items that the dwarf has obviously stolen and stashed away. Among them are some gold coins. They display the distinctive face of the first king. They could only have come from the magic chest of Daventry. A very sharp knife has been stabbed into the table. Its blade reflects the light from the burning fire. You throw one of the coins high in the...
I get out of here quick, where the dwarf comes back.
The door is already open. You hear the latch fall into place again as the door closes behind you.
Let me make sure I got everything. The soup. The coins. Okay. The long play I normally watch for that actually does a bunch of they click on everything in there. The dwarf can come in and show up in that section if you're not fast enough, and you can hide in the chest. So the long play I normally watch does a lot of stuff there, but it's a lot of unnecessary stuff, I think.
Welcome. Come in, please. Possum told me to expect you.
Grandma looks too weak to talk at length. Perhaps there's a way to make her feel better. You place the now cold chicken soup over the crackling fire once more. After it heats up to eating temperature, you remove it again.
What do you mean, Chaos? I don't understand.
You offer the soup to Possum's grandma, introduce yourself, and wait courteously while the frail elderly lady eats the nourishing meal. When she is finished, she sets the empty bowl down elsewhere and turns her attention towards you.
If you would like to speak with me for a while, I would welcome your company. A person should never turn away a visitor, especially when she reaches the twilight of her life.
You can't help but feel a sense of finality in the old woman's words.
You must have something in return for your kindness. You do not need to risk your safety for an old, worn-out woman like myself. Look under the bed. You should find something to keep you a little warmer on a cold night like this.
You peer under the bed and find a thick black cloak. Lying atop it is a beautiful ruby-encrusted ring. You pick both up with reverence.
I could not possibly take these fine things from you.
Oh, please. I want you to have them. Nights in Kolima are cold, believe me. As for the ring, well, perhaps it is better that I do not have it to remind me.
As you wish.
Yeah, yes and no, Claude. Claude, are you familiar with the cult of the Black Cloak?
You have a charming young granddaughter.
Grandma smiles at you graciously.
She is a treasure to me. I would do anything to ensure that no harm comes to her.
If I may inquire, what became of her parents?
Now it's all the people
Grandma
that are
frowns,
under the
and her
father.
eyes darken for a
All the
moment
people in the
before
father's
she forces a melancholy smile to her
cult,
face.
clan, whatever.
They were lost to us many years ago. I am afraid dear Possum never really knew her parents.
It must have been a daunting task raising a child by yourself, especially at your,
At my age? I am certainly not as young as I used to be, and there is no shame in that. I have tried to raise her as best I could to keep her safe and well. However, I fear that as of late the reverse has become truer.
If you please, I was hoping you might tell me of the cloak and ring's origin.
The old woman closes her eyes as if the memory she seeks is painful to her senses.
They were my husband's. He was a proud man, the last of his line. His family had been rich, a great deal of old money, you might say. They lived in that castle you might have seen to the north. Its location upon that island is evidence of how much they valued their privacy. He was a good man, my husband. He took care of me. Certainly he had his strange habits. Most men do, if you would pardon me for saying so. I suspect that he practiced magic, so I could never catch him in the act. He would frequently journey afar, taking that black cloak with him wherever he went, to places he would not talk about. He said that it represented something important to a certain group of people, and that I was never to mention it to anyone. But he was always there for me, always, until that fateful night. We had been married just over a year, and I was heavy with child. We were both out walking in the weirwood forest late one night. The air was warm, and in our youth we paid little attention to the world and
She's
its
dressed
many
like Fiona from
dangers.
Shrek.
Besides, there was a full moon. We could see clearly enough. A shadow passed over us. We looked up, thinking it might have been a stray cloud. It was not. Descending upon us like a demon was the largest, most hideous bat I had ever seen. Its fangs were bared, and it dove straight for me. I must have screamed. My husband flung himself in front of me to protect me. He swung his arms about frantically in hopes of warding the horrid thing away. Perhaps he was trying to cast a spell, but could not recall how in his panic. It paid him no heed and would not be deterred. It swooped again and again relentlessly. At one point, my husband's hand must have clipped the bat's wing because it lost control and crashed into his shoulder. He tried to wrest the foul creature away, But then he shrieked suddenly. The horrid thing had bitten him.
Oh no!
He never did recover from that incident. He just faded with each passing hour.
He dead.
Within 2 days of the attack, my husband had died. We buried him on his family's plantation on the island. Sometimes when I sleep, I can feel him watching over me, guarding me, protecting me. I think he is waiting for my time to come so we can be together always.
The old lady seems to be dozing off. You can barely hear her final words.
I miss him so.
Telling the story has clearly taken a great deal out of her. You watch the old woman a moment and notice her labored breathing as she sleeps. Despite the little girl's tireless daily efforts, perhaps there's nothing more to be done. The elderly lady has fallen asleep. You have no desire to wake her. The little girl is sound asleep. Do not wake her. It is a portrait of a young man. He looks somewhat familiar.
Sister Agatha, my dear, tell me you have good news.
The king has arrived in Kalima, father.
That is not what I meant.
That's not good news.
Yes. Well, he appears to be quite resourceful. It seems his reputation was not totally exaggerated.
He's still alive?
For now. But that will change soon, I think. The king has discovered that one of the gems he seeks is in the possession of a colleague of ours. Do you remember? Kaldor.
Yes. Is he still trustworthy?
Totally. Still sharp, and there's no questioning his loyalty. My humblest apologies, father, but would it not have been simpler for you to have dealt with Graham personally?
Fool! Imagine the ensuing chaos where Daventry's king murdered in his own land. How then would I be able to search for the item?
I see.
Failure is not an option.
Understood, father.
Keep me informed, preferably of good King Graham's death.
Mm-hmm.
You are now wearing the beautiful ruby ring. With a flourish, you fling the black cloak around your neck and fasten it. You read the Bible page again. Seconds swift were wisely spent, searching everywhere we went. You read the Bible page again. Seconds swift were wisely spent, searching everywhere we went. You read the Bible page again. Seconds swift were wisely spent, searching everywhere we went.
That's not important, I swear. Don't worry about it, Claude. It's definitely not important. Oh god.
The shrouded ghoul looks very frightening. His hands are little more than claws, and his face is nearly completely hidden inside the hood of the shroud. He is standing in a small boat.
Boatman, I need passage. I said...
I heard.
The ghoul's voice chills you to the bone. It speaks with a deep, resonating bitterness. You cannot make out a great deal of its face, but what you can see has the hairs on the back of your neck standing on end.
In life, I would row this boat for the master. Long ago was my untimely death in these waters. But still, I remember
what are you talking about, Claude?
many things. Laughter, tears,
I'm just showing the mirror.
joy, pain.
May I cross, Sir Boatman?
You have come to raid the master's house. This I know, but care not about. You should be warned, though. The master is not what he once was. Never has this land known a kinder, more compassionate, and nobler ruler than he. But his fate has long since been decided. Down a dark path he now treads, and he feels naught for anyone nor anything, save for one other. And even that is a rare trait for a Nosferatu.
You freeze. Neither the Door of Destiny nor Neptune mention this count as being undead.
If I may ask, Sir Boatman, how did the swamp come to be here? Is it natural?
No, the ground you stand upon was once farming land and dwellings for the peasantry.
How did it come to be like this?
A score of years passed after the master died, and a great morass opened up, covering the surrounding land with slime and poisoned water. Once rich and fertile, now it is no longer.
The Count has caused this?
It is believed so, for why else would his own castle be spared?
Ah, thank you, Sir Boatman.
The boatman has nothing more to say.
Just give him my library card. I guess we'll give him the coins.
The boatman accepts your payment and motions for you to climb into the boat. The shrouded ghoul paddles across the toxic lake to the shore on the other side.
Blech.
After swallowing the magic sugar cube, you get a feeling of invincibility. The sharp thorns brush against your skin. However, instead of feeling intense pain, you only experience a slight tingling sensation. Evidently, the magic sugar cube did its job. As you approach the ghosts wearing the black cloak, they seem to notice you, and then begin to drift away towards the cemetery.
Bye.
The main entrance to the castle is a set of heavy wooden doors. It looks to be fairly solid. It also looks to be entirely unwelcoming.
That's my favorite part of the game.
The main entrance to the castle is a set of Having an idea, you push the crucifix into the cross-shaped keyhole. It fits. You hear a click, and the door unlocks. You push the heavy wooden door open, take a deep breath, and step nervously inside the castle entrance. The moment you enter the great hall of the castle, you begin shivering uncontrollably, and not just from the cold. This place has an air of death wherever you go. As if creeping around this huge castle was not enough, knowing full well that an undead creature resides here would unnerve even the most stout-hearted of adventurers. You feel desperate to get what you came for, and anxious to leave as quickly as possible.
If anybody gets scared during all this, you're free to imagine yourself holding my hand. I'm reaching my hand out for you. You get spooked. Just pretend you're holding my hand.
You would rather keep your hands to yourself. You take the shovel into your possession. You hold your candle up to the blazing torch. It catches. Your candle is now lit. The staircase beyond is very dark. Fortunately, your candle provides just enough light to see where you are going. You remove the black cloak again. Nervously, you lift the heavy lid of the elegant coffin. You peek into its red satin interior. The coffin is unoccupied, and you feel relief wash over you. As you prepare to look inside the coffin,
King Graham, I presume.
you turn on your heel. There, blocking the only exit from this dismal room, stands the Count. His skin is pale, his eyes jet black. He wears a black cloak nearly identical to the one that you possess.
You know me?
Ah, yes indeed. Sister Hagatha alerted me to your arrival, dear king.
Desperate to stall for time, you query the Count.
Sister Hagatha, you say? Who is she?
The Count regards you with a suspicious glare.
Though I suspect you already know the answer, Hagatha is a charming mage who does as she pleases in this land.
Strange. I was not aware a new ruler had been elected.
Do not be foolish. Hagatha has no interest in the politics of this wretched place, nor do I, in point of fact. Death tends to diminish one's taste for power. No, at present, she is interested only in one thing. As am I, your destruction.
Oh no.
The Count no longer appears interested in humoring your delay tactics. In an instant, you are flat against the wall. The Count has you pinned so well you can't move a muscle, much less put up a defense. You can feel the Count's iron-cold hand on your throat.
Oh, no.
You have barely seconds before the inevitable happens. With difficulty, you manage to loosen the ruby ring from your finger and drop it to the floor. The Count's eyes dart to it quickly, then flash angrily back to you.
Where did you get that?
The elderly woman who lives in a house to the south of here, near the beach. She gave it to me for helping her.
The Count regards you for a moment. His dark eyes bore unendingly into yours, and you feel as if your very soul is bare.
What do you know of her?
She is not well.
I know. Do you think I am not aware of that?
You are sweating profusely. Hopefully, this vampire doesn't find the odor appetizing.
Night is the most dangerous of times for my mortal family. I have kept constant vigil over my wife for many years, so that from the darkness, no harm would come to her. When her time comes, we will be together forever.
I think tonight will be the night. I have seen her this very eve. I did what I could to help her, but I do not think it was enough.
As you watch the giant bat fly out of the room, you realize with dread that the Count has confiscated your crucifix.
Oh
Without
no.
it, you are trapped in this castle. Now what are you going to do? You peer into the ornate coffin. Finding it unoccupied, you see that the interior is lined with shiny red satin. At long last, you have located the final gem, the Death Gem. You breathe deeply, reach out, and take the stone in your hands. It is ice cold to the touch, but you don't care. This is the last thing you need to unlock the door of destiny. Now all you have to do is get out of here. Seeing no other possible escape route, you climb onto the ledge and carefully lower yourself outside, hoping to find a decent foothold. It is a long way down. You are way too busy holding on for dear life. You are way too... You would have to... You are... There
we go.
Suddenly, you hear a switching
Oh, no!
noise in your ear. It's joined by two others. You instinctively try to brush whatever it is away, but in doing so, lose your hold on the bricks and fall backwards.
Oh no!
Time slows as you fall, and your world turns black.
She's also dressed like Fiona from Shrek.
Our guest has awoken, my love.
Ah, good evening, dear king. I do not believe we have been properly introduced. I am Count Kaldor, former lord of the realm of Colima. May I present my wife, Countess Lavidia?
A pleasure to see you again.
In gratitude to you for alerting me to my wife's grave condition, I took the liberty of preparing you a dish. I thought you might be hungry after your harrowing adventure at my window. You will forgive us if we do not join you. Our tastes differ from yours. Do they not, my darling?
I don't know if anybody noticed, but my score went down one.
Tastes actually means, but for some reason you note that you can no longer hear any rats squeaking in the distance.
Indeed. So much to become accustomed to.
You shall have all the time that the world has to share to grow accustomed to such things. Well, perhaps 30 years. Should the father locate the item by then, there might not be enough world left for anyone afterwards.
Has this father to do with why you frequently went abroad, always with that cloak of yours?
Most certainly. But I think that my affiliation with him and his association has come to a close. My obligations to them took me away from my beloved too often. I do not wish to repeat that mistake.
You are forgiven, my love.
Their attention, which seemed to have wavered momentarily, now redirects back to you.
Well, well, well. What to do with this one?
What were you going to do with him?
Kill him.
No.
I had quite clear instructions from Hagatha, who had apparently received them from the father himself.
But if you are not, as you say, affiliated with his association anymore...
They both share a knowing smile.
Tell us, King Graham. Why are you here in Colima?
You take a deep breath, trying to ignore the fact that you are the only one capable of doing so, and relate your story of the vision in the magic mirror and your quest to find the 3 gems of nature. The Count and Countess exchange cryptic smiles.
Romancing the stones.
Indeed.
They almost said the name of the game.
Obviously, that was a private joke, as you did not understand
No,
it.
I got it.
So you search for the one with which you would share the rest of your life. On that I cannot fault you, nor on your intentions here. Therefore, I can forgive the trespassing. However, there is the matter of the dark gem you wish to remove from my castle. I place a deal before you. I am looking for a magnificent sapphire-encrusted tiara. It is a valuable family heirloom and has been on this estate for centuries. This castle and its estate are old, though. It could be virtually anywhere.
Virtually
in any
anywhere.
number of hiding places.
I'll never find it.
I suspect there are many that even I am not aware of. I wish to present this tiara to my wife as a gift to commemorate the eternity we shall spend together. If you can find it and bring it to me before sunrise, then I will give you the gem you seek and your freedom.
This is a Sierra game. Where do you think the tiara is?
You nod, unable to believe that you have virtually been ushered away from death's door just so you can run an errand for a couple of vampires. You do not want to think about the consequences if you fail to meet the deadline.
So, I have until just before sunrise to retrieve this tiara?
That is correct.
And if I am unable to before that time?
The Count's eyes glint red as he looks directly into your own.
For your own sake, I shall hope that you are successful.
You bravely suppress a shudder. It seems clear that you are not off the hook yet. The Count has nothing more to say to you at the moment.
Pardon my asking, but as the Countess of this realm, I presume you have lived in this castle before now?
Yes, that is so.
Then how did you come to live in that old house by the sea?
After my husband died, I continued to live in the castle for a time. I watched my newborn son grow into a man, marry, and have a child of his own.
Possum.
Yes. Shortly after her birth, however, my son and his wife both befell a tragic end at the hands of...
The Countess looks pained and appears unable to continue.
I apologize if I have caused you to relive your grief.
A vampire cannot truly feel grief, but perhaps my wife still recalls hers. I shall continue for her, if you so wish.
Of course.
Please, if I may know, how were your son and daughter-in-law lost to you?
They were slain by the Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood?
You have met them at the church.
Your mind reels, so that is the connection.
Why would the Brotherhood kill your heirs? Oh.
As you have just guessed, the Brotherhood wish an end to the reign of my family. Why else would they give you the means to penetrate my domain, so that you could do their dirty work for them?
The Cross Key.
Exactly. Stolen from me through stealth, and their own brand of magic. The Counts of Colima have all descended from a single bloodline. We have always been partial to change, as opposed to the stagnating status quo of the Brotherhood. Over the last few decades, the Brotherhood have tried to dispose of my family as best they could. That which I am now was brought about by them. They were the ones who set the monstrous, infected bat upon me. Long have I cursed my ineptitude. I should have used magic to defend myself.
Do not be so hard on yourself.
Only had used magic.
I remember that night well. That hideous creature gave you no chance.
Perhaps. But I should have awoken from my dark sleep sooner. Then I would have been able to protect our beloved son and his wife, and you would not have been forced to flee the castle, to live out your days in that wretched old house. under a false identity.
It was not so bad a time. Dear little possum loved it. I hope she will be as happy in her new home. She has a new life now, with no reason to fear anymore.
This brotherhood, are they real monks?
They were once, but something happened to them. Local folklore would have you believe that Weirwood Forest is a host to certain entities. Spirits of the wild, they are called.
And what of them?
I believe the monks encountered these spirits. What occurred specifically is beyond anyone's knowledge but their own. But it is evident that the men were given the ability to transform themselves. Unfortunately, their minds were apparently transformed also. They began to believe they were destined to rule, and since have presented great danger to myself and my family.
So the danger you face is not a result of some decades-old feud?
Not at all, dear king, though history will likely reflect such. But, to answer your question, the members of the Brotherhood are no longer the goodly monks they once were. They do not represent their fellow brethren well.
The Count has nothing more to say to you at the moment. The Countess has nothing more to say to you at the moment.
Gonna need this half a leg of lamb.
You take the ham from the dining table. You see a young woman sitting on the dusty floor. She has a book in her lap entitled Little Red Riding Hood.
I wish I could read this story. All the pretty words.
A young woman sits on the dusty floor. She is reading, or trying to read, a book entitled Little Red Riding Hood. Aside from the pictures, she does not appear to be comprehending the content at all.
Whatever do they say?
The book tells the story of a young girl who met a wolf in the forest.
The young woman's head snaps up. Her black eyes drill into your own. You gasp as you realize you are looking at yet another vampire. Just how many has the Count made tonight? The young woman's lips transform from hungry to, fortunately, pleasant recognition.
So you are the guest of my grandfather's house. I was hoping I would meet you again.
The woman is startlingly beautiful, but in an eerie, unnatural way. You find yourself unable to speak for a moment. She does look somewhat familiar, but from where?
Oh, my handsome gentleman does not recognize me?
Should I?
You remember the basket, the soup?
With a start, you recognize the young woman. She's grown and matured considerably since you last saw her. The little girl, Possum, has been transformed completely into this. She has traded her small ruby cloak for a dazzling satin robe of the same color.
Are you unhappy with my appearance?
No, it's just that you have me at a disadvantage. I do not know your real name.
Anastasia.
A beautiful name.
Yes, 'twas one of the few things my parents left me before they died. They're probably buried somewhere on this island, as a matter of fact. What do you seek here?
You explain your so far unsuccessful attempt to locate the tiara. The young woman looks thoughtful for a moment, then suddenly snaps her fingers. A discarded pile of books shift aside from the floor, and a single black book is revealed underneath.
Excuse me.
She appraises the black book with indignant incomprehension, then holds it out towards you. You take the book from Anastasia's hand.
I do not suppose that has anything to do with it. but it must be about something important.
This black book is entitled Sleepy Hollow. It feels lighter than its size would suggest.
How do you feel about what the Count has done to you?
I am not sure. I suppose I should be grateful.
Grateful?
Yes. If he had left me as I was, I would have faced the same danger that claimed the lives of my parents. The murderers hunt my family still. We will not be completely safe until they are gone. At least I now need not fear anything that prowls by night.
True enough. And if you can avoid daylight altogether for the rest of eternity, you will be fine.
You have nothing else to say to Anastasia right now. You open the book and are surprised to discover not pages, but a hollowed-out section in which sits a silver key. The key's handle resembles the shape of a sleeping child. There also appears to be something written on the back cover of the book.
Here we go. The worst puzzle in the game.
This would appear to be the classic fiction section. In the hollow, you can see that the inside back cover has been written on. Some words have been scrawled onto the paper. They are faded, but still mostly legible.
Treasure you seek, dear to my heart. Tales of fiction is where you must start. Find first the beauty with stepsisters too. Then visit the huts that the big bad wolf blew. The girl with no flock will usher your way to the little old man who spins gold out of hay. Those two star-crossed lovers shall be your last guide. They'll lead you to riches that pirates did hide. What you earnestly seek shall now truly be yours. You'll get it part wrong, and you'll be greeted by maws. I think he says this out loud, actually.
The writing scrawled on the back cover
I like reading it.
If treasure you seek, dear to my heart, tales of fiction is where you must start. Find first the
read it out
beauty
loud.
with stepsisters
Like 3/4 the way through.
Then visit the huts that the big bad wolf blew. The girl with no flock will usher your way to the little old man who spins gold out of hay. Those two star-crossed lovers shall be your last guide. They'll lead you to riches that pirates did hide. What you earnestly seek shall now truly be yours. They'll get it part wrong, and you'll be greeted by maws.
Bum bum dum. Hope you all memorized all this. Alright, so all the books you can go through and like find them this way. Thankfully I have the answers right here.
A new book has appeared on the third shelf down. Treasure Island. You've located the correct book. You pluck it from the shelf and read its title, Treasure Island. What is this? There seems to be a lock binding the cover shut. The keyhole requires a small, thin key. The key fits perfectly into the lock. You turn it and hear a soft click. The book is now open. Skimming through the book, you find that a map has been sketched onto the last page. Close scrutiny reveals it is a top-down layout of the castle and its surrounding grounds. According to this, the tiara has been buried near one of the graves. You shudder, hoping that this is not going to be a case of digging all night while trying to avoid unearthed zombies. There is also a small piece of writing near the bottom. A date of fate can be found with a first, a second, and a double of nothing.
Mm-hmm. Y'all want to solve that for me?
You have nothing else to say.
I wish only one thing as payment for helping you find that book.
Of course.
Would you be so kind as to take this bracelet and place it on my mother's grave? I believe she wanted me to have it while I was alive. Now, it seems no longer appropriate to keep it. Thank you. I must retire now. It will not be long before sunrise. Good night, Graham.
Good night, Anastasia.
Bye forever. Just kidding. If you thought the crown would be inside the castle, you were very wrong.
The ghosts waver, as if being threatened by even the slightest breeze, yet something holds them in place. It may be nothing more than an intensely strong determination or sense of purpose that keeps the spirits anchored to this world. As you hold up the bracelet, the ghosts seem to relax slightly. You wonder if it is now safe to approach them and enter the cemetery. You can't. You place the bracelet on the grave. It immediately sinks down into the earth. The ghosts do not respond at first. Then one of them drifts toward you. It nods, almost sadly. The ghost seems to want to say something, but appears unable. Its face, though transparent and hazy, is lined with grief and torment. Its facial features waver into focus. The ghost is female.
We understand that our daughter will never be joining us now. No longer do we need wait for her. Now we journey to the realm of the dead, where its lord waits to judge us. Farewell.
You bow your head and cross your heart out of respect. While looking downward, you notice that a beautiful gold ring now lies at your feet.
Oh God.
You lift the gold ring from the ground and carefully place it in your pocket. Sierra Online, 83 to 96. May it bask forever in the glory of its legacy. It lives in the minds of those who remember, lest we forget.
Alright. So there's like a billion Easter eggs or whatever on the graves here. There's a ton of graves here. I'm just gonna click through them to find the right one. If you guys want to actually see what's on all the graves, feel free to look up a long play, because there's many that actually click on all the graves. It was Sarah, good question.
Boris. Count Christopher.
What?
Count Christopher Ivir, 1175 to 1200. The
First,
young
a second,
Ivir,
a double
his
of nothing, not you.
Count Barthol. Jacob Scarlet. Mary Ann Drinkwater. Susanna Son. Douglas Buckman. Count Christopher Ivir, 1175 to 1200. Alfred Chamber.
Gotta be that one there.
Boris. Alfred Chamber. Count Chris. digging yourself into a... You stop digging when your shovel hits something hard. Count Christopher, there is an open hole beneath. Nervously, you reach down, open the coffin, and look inside. You search through the belongings of the deceased. According to the headstone, they belong to a Count Christopher Evere. After some tentative searching, you find a parchment. It appears to be the last will and testament of Larman Odnarb, healer. This isn't right. You run your eyes over the parchment. It's dated 1200, the same as the date on the headstone. However, the instructions pertaining to his burial were for Larman to be placed near his family at the church's cemetery. Oh dear.
Oh dear. If you thought the Tiara was anywhere on this island at all, I'll see you later. How's it going, Blucky?
You need to get close.
You need to get closer.
You climb back into the decrepit rowboat, and the shrouded ghoul ferries you back across the lake.
I don't have directions for where I'm going, so I'm kind of just guessing. I think this seems familiar. Oh, here we go.
You'll need to walk...
I've never actually seen this before.
Its lust for the taste of human flesh makes the werewolf incapable of speech. It only snarls, growls, and breathes menacingly.
Dang.
My, what sharp claws. All the better to...
They're so stuttery. Yeah, that's because they're one... You, missed out on the joke. You can only have 60 frames. And an emote. So I made the entire B movie into an emote, but it was only 60 frames of the entire movie. There we go.
You lift the pillow and look beneath it. To your surprise, you discover a small bottle of ointment. A label on the side reads, Wolfbane. Being very careful not to smash it, you take the ointment and put it in your pocket.
Blah, 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 blah. Bane. I once again don't know where I'm going.
Your heart beats faster and faster as you push on the handle of the church door. It opens, and you nervously step inside. A large tapestry now adorns the wall behind the altar. The image on the tapestry bears a depiction of some kind of ceremony or ritual. It is somehow reminiscent of the room you are now standing in. A large tapestry. Evidently, someone stands at the center of this symbol, as you can see some hair on that part of the floor. You see a book sitting on the altar. It appears old and worn. You look over the book. It is a journal written by Lowolf, head monk of the Church of Kalima. Flipping through it, you see a paragraph with a name you recognize.
It is frustrating, as always, dealing with Count Kaldor and his ilk. He is just like his father, perhaps even worse. He insists that Kalima be pushed forward to enlighten the peasantry. Can he not see that this path leads to ruin? How can the people retain their moral goodness if their minds are filled with knowledge of the wider world and all of its sin?
You turn a few more pages and choose another interesting-looking paragraph.
I am quite convinced that Kaldor is so blinded by his so-called vision for Kalima that he cannot see the folly of his intentions, and yet he is the Lord of Kalima. To publicly refute him would create confusion and anger in the people. I am a man of patience. The greatest gift His Grace has granted me. Perhaps time will settle this young lord's idealism and grant him sense in the process.
The journal largely contains many entries of similar types and of daily matters of a monk's life. You are about to replace the journal where you found it, but your eye catches a most peculiar passage.
A wonderment was discovered in the forest this night. The spirits of the wild, long thought to be only of legend, appear to us and saw fit to grant my brethren and I the most blessed of gifts. Such power we now have. Our forms can be abandoned in favor of any other, and I am to be their leader, their most powerful. They are bound to me inextricably. The spirits have made promises of greater things to come for us. Oh, it fills me with such longing, the endless possibilities, what we will achieve with our abilities. I am restless. I must leave for a time. The moon is full, and I feel the urge to join my pack as they run. Perhaps we will hunt. Perhaps we will kill. My mind is now clear, and I know the path before us. It is a path that shall lead us to greatness, and it will begin with the destruction of our nemesis. But now, I no longer have the patience to write. I must run. I must hunt. I must.
The passage ends abruptly. Though there are many pages left to be written on, it is evident that the final passage was written a number of years ago. How strange. You replace the journal, putting it back where you found it.
There we go.
Lester William. Rarla. This is the Bridget O. Lyot O. This is Larman Odnarb, 1175 to 1200. Dear old Larman was a healer, cured many a deadly fever. One he caught that bitter day, healed not himself and passed away. Digging your... You stop digging when your shovel hits something hard. There is a freshly dug hole beneath one of the headstones. With bated breath, you open the box. There it is, the tiara. As you retrieve the tiara from its final resting place, you let out a loud, relieved sigh. You feel as if the coming sunrise will be the most glorious sight you will ever behold, considering how close you were to never seeing another again.
I was
Now,
a little
don't
bit
delay.
worried,
You
Claude.
still have to
Just
get
a little
it back
bit,
to
though.
the castle. You freeze as the wolf's howl sends shivers down your spine. You force yourself to turn and face nothing. Your anxiety must be causing you to hear things.
Teehee.
Without warning, a wolf darts out of the dark forest and dashes towards you, and this time it's running directly at you.
Oh no.
You think that this vial... The delicate bottle has a label. You rub the wolfbane ointment all over your skin. Sensing the wolfbane ointment on your skin, the wolf quickly turns and flees back into the forest. The wolfbane ointment has worn off.
I don't know where I'm going. Would have used the ham. Would have been wrong.
Oh my god, 1,000 views already? Notification gang, holla!
Yo, hello. And thank you. I'm very lost at the moment. How did Final Fantasy VIII go? Oh wait, hold on. I don't have to do the force puzzle again. Let's see.
You feel the poisonous
What?
waters seeping into your skin. Its potency.
I was robbed. Alright, hold up. I can see Sierra Games. Look out, Graham. There's poisonous water. King's Quest 3 speedrun never. I don't like King's Quest 3. I like King's Quest 2, but I hate King's Quest 3.
Something is wrong here. There is no boat, no boatman, and... no escape.
No
The
escape.
monk and his pack have tracked you here, and they clearly intend to do nothing less than rip you to pieces. If you're going to do something, now would be a very good time.
No.
The boatman will retie the boat to the rope. You feel the poisonous waters seeping into your skin. Its potency takes...
No escape.
No escape. The monk... You tug forcefully at one of the reeds until it finally breaks free. You put it away and carry it with you. You have no reason to throw that into the foul-smelling water.
Wait, what? Remember that needle we got in the haystack
Very
like
carefully,
20 hours
you
ago?
bend down and soak the tip of the needle in the foul, toxic water. The silver needle fits perfectly into the end of this hollow reed, making a sturdy pea shooter. The coating of deadly poison makes the needle a lethal projectile.
Chaos. I just killed a man.
I see you have met the Brotherhood of the Pack.
Where were you?
Detained. A man who had assumed your appearance boarded my boat. When we reached the other side, I perceived the flaws of his disguise and dispatched him instantly.
Oh dear.
The Count has been wary of the Brotherhood of the Pack for many years now. In obtaining what he asked for and ridding this land of their leader, you have served him doubly well this night.
The shrouded ghoul paddles across the toxic lake to the shore on the other side. You re-enter the huge wooden doors and quickly make your way to the castle's main dining room. As expected, you find the Count and Countess awaiting you.
You have performed admirably. Not only have you found the tiara I sought, you have rid me and this land of the deceptive and secretive Brotherhood of the Pack. They have committed many atrocities against my family, such as the deaths of our son and daughter-in-law. I have been forced to remain secluded all these years, unable to serve my homeland as I should, to evade their relentless pursuit of wiping out my entire family line.
Is the Brotherhood really gone? Some of those wolves escaped.
The rest of the pack followed the wolves that ambushed you. However, without their leader, they will find themselves as lost in mind as they are now in body, whether human, wolf, or any other form. Their hastened passage through my swamp will not see a return to their den. Of that I can assure you.
You have trapped them all in the swamp? The entire pack?
An endless flight through the mire awaits them. Should my long-stilled heart ever feel pity again, perhaps one day I shall free them.
As you listen to the Count's cold, unforgiving tone, you thank your lucky stars that he no longer sees you as a threat, at least not for the time being.
I release you from my service, dear king. The nearing dawn no longer signifies an uncertain future for you.
What's wrong with the voice acting?
You take the death gem. Finally, you have all 3 stones in your possession.
I don't see you
feel
doing a better
pang of
job.
Anticipation as you realize that all you need to do now is take them to the door of destiny.
I didn't see you remake the entirety of King's Quest 1, 2, and 3 in your spare time.
I wish you the best, dear king.
Oh, wait, hold on.
A word of advice, King Graham. Once you have found the lady you seek, protect her with all your strength. Never leave her side, and place no importance above that of her well-being.
I talked to them
Give
before I
your
left.
life for hers, if it should ever come to that. Love can last an eternity, but your loved one can be lost in an instant. Heed those words, my king, and farewell.
Farewell.
You said you were the former Lord of Kalima?
Yes.
When did you abdicate?
I didn't, as such. When I became what I am now, ruling this realm lost all meaning to me. All that mattered was the well-being of my dearest treasure.
You flatter me.
It is well deserved. All that mattered to me was her safety. I concerned myself with little else.
And now?
I have recently given thought to... But no, it is a foolish notion to entertain. The people would never accept me as I am now.
Your statue in the town still stands. The people obviously hold you in high regard even after all the years of your absence.
Now you're immortal.
Perhaps. However, my concern right now is the safety of my family. I have taken steps to ensure that they are better protected from our enemies.
The Countess has nothing more to say to you at the moment. The Count has...
I wish you the...
Oh my god, she's gone. I have no idea where she is. Let's go back to town and go to the library. I'm very curious. I've never actually... I mean, this is my first time actually playing this game. I haven't really explored any of this area. I've always wondered a few things. Just a few. Oh my god, they're gone too.
This is just a small storage room. Rows of red wine barrels are neatly stacked and piled along the wall. At least you think they contain wine. Seeing nothing else of real importance, you head back into the dining room.
I'm just gonna load. Actually, I have to use the restroom, so let's take a short break. I'll be right back. Enjoy this spooky mansion. Hello, and welcome back to Spooky Mansion. I don't think there's time in this game, but I'll reload just in case there is. You miss me? I miss me too.
You climb back into the decrepit rowboat, and the shrouded ghoul ferries you back across the lake.
Meanwhile... Meanwhile... There we go.
He did what?
What?
Well, it would appear that our Count's loyalty was to be questioned after all. Kaldor has decided to leave us, now that he again has his wife at his side.
No one has ever left my service before.
Yes, Father, it is most regrettable.
It is unthinkable!
Yes, Father, it is quite unthinkable.
It is up to you then, Sister Agatha.
Yes, Father, it is... pardon?
You will have to deal with it yourself. If Graham dies abroad, the crown will pass to me. And with it, the item will be known to me at long last.
Father, are you sure? It is an ancient legend.
It does exist, and I will find it. Do you hear me, Agatha? Graham is not to return to Daventry alive.
The swamp seems a bit lighter than the last time you were here, and some of the heavy mist has lifted. Day must be dawning.
Oh, I get it, Claude. I get it. It took me a minute. I got it, though. I'm a little slow sometimes. I know what you're thinking. We finally have the 3 gemstones. I should go straight to the door. But then, what about this other 35 points? We have so many points. I don't remember much about Stella or Final Fantasy 15, to be honest. One day I'll play that game again. Girl in the Tower is worth 30 points. I see.
Yes?
Could you recommend another good book?
No.
I'm sorry?
What?
No. You have read every last one of our good books. The only other title you may find vaguely interesting is this one.
The librarian points to the book sitting on her desk. It is entitled, The Annual Book of General Knowledge. The librarian has placed the book on the desk for you to read. Thoughtful, isn't she? This book is entitled, The Annual Book of General Knowledge. Browsing through it, you notice an interesting excerpt.
Did you know eating certain types of fish has remarkable transformative effects? Eating white snake allows communication with the natural and animal world. Cookies make good camouflage. The rumor about unicorns and who can see them is not true. Mixing animal hair in lotions and potions can cause intriguing side effects. Goats are the natural enemies of trolls. Wands are like pets. Life is like a box of chocolates. Some worlds were created perfectly by the gods, while others were left to be recreated. Fairy dust loses its effectiveness with age. A wise man reads the lines in the sand for direction. All you need is love.
You'd never speak to a horse, of course.
Why not? I was like, what game are you talking about? Then I realized you're talking about Live Alive. Oh. Excuse me, I'm dying. Oh no!
Oh no! The plank you stepped on was a trap. Your leg passed right through it, and now you are very, very stuck. Try as you might, you cannot dislodge yourself. You hear a noise. Someone or something is approaching you from behind.
You there!
Somehow we didn't see this guy the
Wait a
whole
minute.
game.
I know you. You're that thieving little pest who used to reside in Daventry.
Yes. How kind of you to recognize me.
And just what are you doing here in Kalima?
Oh, this and that. At the moment, I'm getting my own back.
I beg your pardon?
Imagine my surprise when, having come home from a hard day's work...
Mugging, you mean?
I find that my treasure had been robbed, and my food stolen.
Are you claiming either were yours to begin with?
I went a bit hungry yesterday, but I'm willing to forgive. I happen to know that you're carrying some most expensive items, including that which you stole from me. I give you a choice. Either you hand over some treasure, or I start cutting. I've already had a go at the ropes on the other side, so should you survive the impact once I have cut both ends here, I doubt the remainder will hold your dangling weight. Oh, yes. You could start it by throwing me those lovely gems you're carrying.
Yo, Dusk?
You wrap your gems up tight in the cloth.
You fool!
Now, if you want your treasure, then you help me.
Not a chance. I'm not coming anywhere near you.
Fine. Then you stay where you are, and the treasure stays over there.
It seems that your ultimatum has caused a conflict of interest for the dwarf. While he does not want to help you, his greed is demanding to be immediately satisfied. Having nothing else to do at present, you muse that kleptomania might be an inherent quality in dwarves in general. Then you notice the fraying ropes on the mountain end of the bridge. They are unraveling. He really did have a go at them earlier.
Well?
I might just leave you there. Wait until you die, and then come back. You will not be a problem to me when you are dead.
Good strategy.
By which time the bridge will have fallen. You have done a good job on those ropes over there.
While muttering something inaudible, the dwarf throws you his knife. You catch it deftly, realizing that whatever you're going to do, you'd better do it fast. You begin cutting the exposed support rope.
What are you doing? You're crazy!
I can't
As
be
each
stopped.
rope gives way to your onslaught, you hold on tight and brace yourself for the inevitable. Upon impact, the collision shatters the plank that held your leg in place, and you're again free to move. You also discover that your entire body really hurts now. Be careful, Graham. Any sudden movements might cause the bridge to fall.
Careful, Graham.
Be careful, Graham.
What?
You manage to survive crashing into a cliff face, only to forget that you are still in danger.
That's not how that's supposed to happen.
Oh no! You hear a noise.
Wait, you're that. And just what are you?
I went to be. Oh.
You wrap your gems up tight.
Yes. Fine.
It seems that having.
Well,
I might just leave you.
While muttering something inaudible, the
Oh god.
You begin cutting the exposed support rope.
What are you doing? You're crazy.
As each rope gives way to your... Upon impact, you've made it to the other side safely. Of course, you have no way of getting back. Not that it concerns you at this point.
You could at least give me back my knife.
Nice throw, Graham.
It serves you right for stealing from Daventry's magic chest.
You unwrap the gems from the cloth. The door of destiny now bears 3 indentations, each in the shape of identical-sized gems.
Gem, gem.
You push the gem firmly into the indentation.
Birth, growth, death. The cycle of this life is complete, now and forever. Speak, and my purpose is thus fulfilled. My passage to the next world may begin at long last.
Then, if you please, I would bid thee open.
As you wish, but a word of caution. As you enter, know in your heart which destiny you truly desire.
So you can pick all these other ones for hilarious death sequences, but we're not going to do that. maybe when we finish. Remember that very first thing we picked up? Yeah, me too.
You cast the net into the tranquil sea. Upon retrieving it, you see that you have caught a large golden fish. It falls from the net and flops helplessly on the beach.
I mean, we had to use it to get the goose before anyways.
You grab the flopping fish. Its mouth is wide open and its gills are extended. With great difficulty, you hold the fish as it twists and turns in your hands. You toss the fish back into the tranquil sea.
Thank you for not killing me. For your kindness, I will gladly take you across to the other side of this vast sea.
Yeah, sure, I trust you completely.
You carefully lower yourself down the steep embankment and slide onto the fish's scaly back. You hold on tight as the fish swims far out to sea. You slide off the fish's back and clamber onto the sandy shore of a surreal little island. The sky above the surreal world is a brilliant orange. You realize with a start that there doesn't appear to be a sun anywhere in sight.
Magicant?
In which case, where is the light coming from? This is it. The very same tower you saw in the magic mirror back in Daventry.
I don't remember that game.
This sand patch has a unique color. You hold your finger up in the air. You feel no wind, not even the slightest breeze. This is very strange indeed. You hold your... Some writing has appeared in the sand. It reads,
"It would appear that you, my dear, are here indeed to help me. Walk to this sand and place your hand upon these words, and you'll see."
What are you going to use for question 100 now?
You place your palm upon the words in the sand. You notice some more writing in the sand near the portal. It reads,
"You may return, but pause to learn a way to flee this cursed place. My end draws near, so hurry, dear, and come swift to me in haste."
You can't reach the coconuts from down here. You will need to... You are already... You will need...
What in the heck?
You are pleased. You remove an ample-sized coconut from the bunch growing in the treetop. You pick up the beautiful stone of quartz. Using the sharp blade of your sword, you slice the coconut clean in half. You fill the half coconut with briny water from the magenta sea. The writing in the sand reads, The writing in the sand reads,
Oh wait, we already did read that?
The sand patch is an odd color. Your status as king is marred only by 3 symbols are depicted in the sand. Perhaps each one represents an action that must be performed in order to establish an escape route from this strange place.
Coconut, water.
Some writing has appeared in the sand where the symbols used to be. It reads,
Well done, my dear. You've come so near. A king's quest is soon to end.
King's
But
quest.
If now you go, alone you'd know, our broken path would ne'er mend.
Suddenly the sand begins swirling again. In place of the poem appears yet another portal. That doesn't seem to work. You can't use that there. That doesn't seem... That...
Man, I remember getting this
The
thing.
circular gold object fits perfectly into the door's
We've had this
outer
for like
rim.
forever, but I don't remember where we got it.
As you place the quartz stone into the shallow hole, you hear it lock into place. Suddenly, the statues rumble to life.
The truth you will find for one such as I, for the other can only be lying. These words will provide you the means to get by. My companions, though, shall see you dying. If you were to ask my companion if he knows the way through this door, he would answer, no. The first gave birth to all life. The second allows it to thrive. The third sustains all that wander it. The fourth will once a day hide. If you were to ask my companion if he knows the way through this door, he would answer, yes. The first carries all manner of weather. The second gives cause to be burned. The third is shallow, as it can be deep. The fourth, to bear fruit, must be turned.
It is a symbol of a cloud.
Oh my god, it looks so real.
This is the biggest lion you have ever seen. He can eat you with 2 bites of his powerful jaws. His tail thumps repeatedly on the floor. The huge lion just snarls at you. You might be irritating him.
I know what you're thinking. We should use the ham, right? So if you use the ham here, you only get 1 point, and... But you can use the ham here if you want to. You just get less points. However, if y'all remember, this was the,
Your crystal has become a dazzling
emerald that turns things into their real shape. Keeps them from being transformed? Is that what it is? Whatever. Feed in the kiwi.
Distancing yourself from the lion as much as possible, you hold the emerald in such a way that the window's light passes through it and shines directly onto his tail. Instantly, something begins to happen.
It's a naked old man.
I cannot tell you how much I appreciate what you just did for me.
You are welcome. Who are you?
At one time, I was Hagatha's suitor, when we were both much younger. Believe it or not, she was quite attractive in her day. But during the course of our relationship, I fell in love with another woman. In a jealous rage, Hagatha transformed me into a lion to guard this door for the rest of my life. I have seen, or rather heard, many a pretty damsel spend the last of her days inside that room. Incidentally, I presume you have found the exit from this strange island?
Yes, but...
Then I shall bid you farewell. It is awfully drafty in here. Strange, I didn't notice that when I was covered in cat hair.
Alright, see ya.
The Quartz Tower. You scoop the tuft of orange fur into your hand. You do not need this old chain. You lift the heavy wooden beam that holds the doors in place. You softly say some words to the girl, but she does not show any sign of responding. She is even more lovely than she appeared in the magic mirror. She sleeps soundly and shows no signs of stirring at your presence. You feel as if you could watch her like this for an eternity.
That sounds creepy. This is where we use the ham. You are correct. I'm just kidding.
Nothing happened.
Although...
Nothing. That would not help lift the powerful enchantment.
God dang it.
As you hold the emerald over the girl, you realize that the light from the window does not penetrate this part of the room.
We're gonna burn her like an ant.
You hold the emerald between the ray of light and the sleeping maiden. At first, nothing happens. Then she stirs. The radiant light streams through the emerald and dispels the sleeping enchantment instantly.
Hello, Graham.
Hello. I think you have me at a disadvantage, my lady.
Oh, of course. My name is Valenice. I've been watching you.
Watching me? But how?
In my sleep, from the moment you arrived in Kalima.
The lines in the sand. Those were your words?
This is a strange place, filled with much strong magic. Once you arrived, I discovered a way to communicate to you from my sleep. I hope you found my words to be of some aid.
Indeed I did, milady. My heart was warmed greatly when you expressed your longing to see me.
I have come to learn a great deal about you, Graham, of your nobility and bravery. I know why you came here, and how truly deep your feelings are for me. I want you to know that I have come to feel the same way for you.
Something about the way she looks at you speaks 1,000 words. She loves you, Graham. She really loves you. Even if this is a dream, this moment could not be better.
Now, isn't this nice?
Oh no.
What a pretty pair. I hope you're enjoying each other's company, since you won't be doing a great deal else for much longer.
The door! Why, you...
Which?
I'm sure it would have rhymed.
Silence. I will not be so spoken to by the likes of you.
Why do you despise her? What has Valanice ever done to you?
She has the attention of men all over the land. Attention that once had all been mine. I won't allow her to take it away from me.
I think you should just allow the two of us to go.
And why would I want to do that?
We would leave your realm together, never to return. Then you would have all the attention you could ever want again.
Nice try, my pretty fly. But you are caught in my web now. And besides, the father would not want you returning and interrupting his search.
The father? Is he one of your male admirers?
You think that the father is one of my admirers? You silly boy. How naive you are not to even realize that the man in charge of your own army is the man who wishes you destroyed.
You push the tuft of cat fur into the vial. It quickly dissolves into the blue liquid.
I have something that might interest you. A youth potion. Brewed from a nightingale, no less.
You have it? Well, don't just stand there, you foolish boy. Give it to me. Yes. Yes. This is it. I thought I'd never see it again. At last, I have the finished youth potion in my hands.
Definitely not tampered with.
Look at me. I am so beautiful. No! What have you done to me?
Just giving you a taste of your own medicine.
How could you? I'll never be able to show my face anywhere.
What are you talking about? People love cat girls.
And I have fleas.
You make medicine for that.
How bad is it? Let me see. My eyes.
Hagatha's body is nowhere to be seen. I wonder where she went.
How odd.
We'll definitely never see her again.
Yes.
I beg your pardon?
You were trying to think of the best way to ask me to marry you. As I said, I have seen you in my dreams ever since you arrived in Kalima, and I have come to feel for you the way I know you feel about me. So the answer to your question is yes.
But I haven't asked you yet.
There is a far better question you could ask, such as, where shall we be wed? In your kingdom or mine?
Yours. There is something I must attend to in Daventry that may ruin the occasion otherwise.
Whatever you decide, my dear.
You manage to break open the door. The two of you venture to the smaller island, where the portal still swirls expectantly. As you step through it, you find yourself wondering where it will teleport you.
Oh my god, we were in this thing the whole time?
We seem to be in Hagatha's cave.
How did we end up here?
I've no idea.
We were in the snow globe.
Inquisitively, you pick up the glass dome to inspect it more closely. Astounding. Within the dome's wall of glass is contained the entire island realm, Quartz Tower and all.
They eat the ham
Why
together.
would you want to take that?
This item denied you of your freedom. It is only right that you may do as you please with it.
Slam dunk it into the pot.
Or you could accept it as a wedding gift.
Valenice takes the dome from your hand.
It was the prison you lived
I shall keep it as a
in.
reminder that, regardless of what transpires from this point on, I have experienced worse.
Nice.
As you exit the cave, you notice that it is night already. Also, the two of you seem to have some company.
Beautiful night, yes.
It really is LCC.
Yes.
This
certainly.
is my
So
second
what do we owe
favorite.
The
King's Quest.
Pleasure of your visit.
Why, King Graham, surely you do not still think of me as the enemy? If I had wanted you destroyed, it would have been a simple enough thing to do. No, I have come only to ask a question of you, if I may.
Of course. And what would this question be?
I wish to know, have either of you ever seen a wedding ceremony performed and orchestrated by a highly experienced and rather exceptional mage?
Not really.
I cannot say that I...
Well then, prepare yourselves. I promise you both that this will be a night to remember.
Of course. The vampire wedding we always wanted. Complete with
People
naked
of
guy.
Kolyma, it is my
And
desire
Batman.
to be reinstated as your custodian and protector. If you will still have me.
Who else we got in here?
The crowd is silent. Then
Hmm.
a murmur. It grows until finally everybody cheers in agreement and support.
I can't believe Batman showed up to
Very
your own wedding.
Therefore, with the power and authority you have
It's the
reinvested
lion.
in me, I wish to conduct the ceremony of these two deserving people who have chosen to join together in marriage.
Hey, the goose is there. Who's the guy in the top? Oh wait, that's the cloud guy,
King
isn't it?
Graham of Daventry.
Yeah.
Do you take
And try-
this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? To love and to
See,
hold?
guy.
For richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, as long as you both shall live.
I do.
Lady Valenice, do you take this man to be your lawfully
Yeah,
wedded
Neptune.
husband, to love and to hold, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Do you have a wedding band?
Yes, it is a gift from Anastasia's parents.
It's cursed ring.
I now pronounce you husband and wife. I think you know what comes next.
The crowd's jubilance reaches a new height. The people of Kalima seem only too eager to rejoice in your newfound happiness.
I cannot thank you enough for your service to me in ensuring the safety of my family. Without the Brotherhood's moral decadence of old, the people of Kolima can finally move forward.
And I will not forget the chance you have given my husband and I to spend an eternity together.
Your kindness will always be remembered.
Your valor and bravery shall echo in the Mer people's songs for ages to come.
Is Anastasia holding, like,
Your homeland lives on,
a
due
leash?
to your exemplary honor.
Now, King Graham,
We invited
it is
the
time
dwarf
for you
guy.
to take your bride to her new home.
He's here to rob us all.
My ship, my crew.
I have sent them home already. By now, they will have notified everyone.
Is Cat Lady
of your
Witch dead
imminent
then? I think so.
Imminent arrival?
Trust me.
She's not in any of the other games. Wink. Actually, they mentioned her death in the third game, so yeah.
I wish you all the best, both of you.
Give my regards to the father.
As the vapor subsides, a deafening roar erupts from the audience. All have come to bear witness to your return and the coronation of your new bride.
Welcome back, Your Majesty. And may I say, never have I seen a more beautiful and stunning bride than the one you have returned with. I trust you found your journey through Kalima void of peril or incident.
Agatha told me of your treachery. Who are you? Why do you call yourself the father? What are you searching for?
You need only know this. You would do best not to treat one like I in such a manner.
I must, with much regret, inform you all of a great treachery in our fair land. This man, he who has sworn loyalty to Daventry and its crown, is a traitor. He has
It's King's Quest
conspired
2.
to have me
And this is the
slain
ending.
away from home, with the intention of pursuing his own insidious ambitions here. Guards, seize him!
You have made
That was
a
recorded in a
terrible
different room.
mistake, you know.
Guard, halt. Stand back.
A 1v1?
Prepare to fight for your life, are you? And with an old fool's sword. Be warned. You do not know who you are facing. Your ignorance shall destroy you. On guard!
It is over.
I think not.
Thrice now I curse, and from the first, your family shall feel the worst. Soon shall you see they'll surely be in the most dire jeopardy. Then as your foe, 'tis I who will sow the spell to cause your heart to slow. And for my shame for you the same, over Daventry your heir shall reign.
Oh no!
Who was that man?
Am I playing more than that? I won't be. I'll be
don't know,
playing
but
other
I
stuff.
will find out someday. I swear it.
But this is the end of
Listen,
King's
we will
Quest 2.
deal with any curses as we find them, or as they find us. Come, you must show me around your kingdom. I wish to become accustomed with the realm in which we will be raising our children.
What about your coronation?
Later.
Later, man. I've been trapped in a tower. This is commonly known as either the VGA version or the homebrew version. It's done by Adventure Game Digital Interactive, I believe. AGDI. I don't know if anybody in chat can link to their website. Yeah, fan game endorsed by the creators, basically. Nah, no, not anymore. King's Quest for today. Yeah, AGDI. That one right there. Yeah, it's good. I like this one. Big fan of this one. Five is too powerful. Yeah, that's kind of how I am with 6. Okay, let me move my mic. Your voices. I definitely think that King's Quest 6 is... It's my favorite purely out of nostalgia. But I like this one a lot, so it's pretty close. AGDI remade... Yeah, there you go. They remade the first, second, and third games. The first one's pretty good, but it's still... I mean, the original game is rather short. It's still pretty just short in general. The second one we just played through is really good. I, however, really don't like the third game. And I think they did an amazing job with the third game and remaking it. But I just don't like the, I guess, gameplay style. Especially the intro. The first, like, half of the third game, you're on a timer. So, the third game stars Alexander. He was kidnapped by... Mordak? No, that's not right. I forgot who it was. He was kidnapped by somebody. And... Yeah. So, the wizard that kidnapped him leaves periodically. Like, he just leaves. And then he comes back. And as he leaves, there's a timer that basically runs at the top of your screen for, like, Alexander to basically go and explore the village and just go around and do stuff. And it's really tedious because every single time you have to, like, go get all your stuff. I'll be playing Euro Truck Simulator too. Anyways, in King's Quest 3, every time the wizard leaves, you have to go grab your stuff, then go to town, then go back to the your house or whatever, put all your stuff back, then go back to the kitchen to feed the wizard before he gets angry. And it's like, it's just really annoying. I'm not a fan of it at all. It's very obnoxious. And you have to do that for like half the game, so I might at some point in my life...
Congratulations! You scored a full 185 points. Thanks for playing. We hope you enjoyed King's Quest II, Romancing the Stones.
Yo, thank you. I might eventually one day play King's Quest III on stream, but probably not during trivia, because it'll be a lot of me being annoyed. We did. That was great.